Okay, so here we are working with the log arch again. I made some improvements to it. This whole thing up here was an attachment that I could take on and off, but I use it so much I just went ahead and welded it on. Cleaned everything off the back to make room for my snatch blocks to work, but we're getting into some pretty big wood here. These trees are actually green, so the wood is quite heavy. When I built this, I had envisions of picking up 2 or 3 logs, but these things gotta go 800,000 pounds. So you aren't gonna get 2 or 3 of them lined up nicely next to each other unless you have some big equipment. So we take them one at a time. This is a 2, 4, 6, 8, 12 or 14 foot log here. And still using the boat winch. I had an electric winch on here for a while. We used it with a Gator because the Gator has a 12-volt battery. All of our tractors are 6-volt. So I thought about putting a battery box on it and just have a battery to run the winch and charge it up every now and then. But simpler is better. So just went to Fleet and bought some snatch blocks. We are just running over this high pulley, which gives you lift, so you're not dragging them through the mud. But it just runs down to a snatch block, up to a snatch block, down to a snatch block, and terminates up there. I added a bunch of hooks and loops so you can tie on in different places for different situations. But with those snatch blocks, it's amazing how much you can lift. So I will try and hold this steady. As you can see, I am cranking it with one hand. Takes a fair amount of effort. And if you don't quite got the chain in the perfect balance spot, one end comes up first, but you actually want the front end first because that'll hit the arch and then you'll lift up the back. Sorry for the shaky videoing. And then all we do, this is the bad part, reach under there. Hook a chain around the front. And this one's still hooked. Hook a chain around the back. And then we let it down onto the chain because we don't want all that weight bouncing on the winch. And there we go. We take her home and cut it up in the yard and split it into blocks right there. A lot easier than wrestling them blocks onto the trailer. So pretty neat machine. I think I got all the kinks worked out of it. When I first built it, we would use it until something broke, then beef up that part, then the next thing would break. So got it figured out pretty good. I actually made it 6 feet wide to match my WD. The B is 5 feet wide and it fits in a lot more places. So that's one thing I didn't take into consideration. The only other thing is I should really put a pintle hitch on it, because we are bending that pin when you're going up and down in the woods and going around corners. So a lot of good firewood here. Cutting some of the bigger, older trees to make room for the young ones. Hauling logs is actually the easy part. Cleaning up the top of the tree, that's where all the work is. So there we go. Pretty neat machine. I got the idea, I saw it on YouTube or something. They make small ones for 4-wheelers that barely lift the log 6 inches off the ground. which is great if you're logging on pavement or a golf course or something, but we need to get clearance for up here, so works pretty good.